All right. Well, hello, everyone. We are back, a pair of sympathetics. My name is Jim Wisniewski. I am a certified health and life coach. And with me today, as always, is my beautiful sister.
Uh, I'm Therese Westberg, licensed clinical professional counselor. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you, sis. So we have a lot to talk about today, and one place that I would like to start is a kind of a vulnerable point that I hit this week. Um, Came out of the gate in quarantine with many good intentions of creating a new life for myself. I was gonna be this and that and the other thing, and I was working and we are doing YouTube videos and we were doing, and then about 4 days ago, I completely shut down, and I
Wow.
went to my wife Erica, as you know, and I just said I got nothing, and she said, "Go take time for yourself." And it was really hard, and I had hit a wall, and um, I thought I'd bring that vulnerability to us today and just kind of
Yeah.
help me, help me.
I feel like that's happening. It's happening to a lot of us. And the term I'm going to put to that, I actually wrote it down because this is what I really wanted to kind of talk about today. So, oops, sorry, it's my phone. What I really want to talk about today is perseverance. Okay. So I actually wrote down the definition for it just so that we're on the same page with it. So perseverance is doing something despite the difficulty or delay in achieving success.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think a lot of things are easy when we first start them because in the beginning of, we're trying to create a new habit for ourselves, or if new habits are imposed on us, like what's going on in the world today, that's imposed. We're changing whether we want to or not. But self-imposed would be more like the things you were just stating, like you were going to change the world during this time, right? And so it's like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to, start eating healthy and be my healthiest best self. I'm going to create whatever. In the beginning, we always have the motivation, whether it's what's going on in the world. Our motivation may have been fear, right? Or it's wanting to do something good for myself because I want to lose some weight because I've got that wedding coming up and I want to fit in that dress. So in the beginning, we're all geared up, our triggers, something triggered us and we're ready to roll. So we have our system in place and we're like, yeah, I'm going to nail this. And we start out strong. Sometimes the first or second day of it's tough because it's completely new, but then we get in our rhythm, we see a little bit of, success, and we're motivated. We're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden something happens, you're like, I'll say a month into it. And all of a sudden what happens is your motivation starts to drip away. Uh, and so I think what happens psychologically to us at that point is that our defense mechanisms kick in. One of the strong ones, and again, I have to use what's going on in the world today as an example too. In the beginning, we were scared and staying home, but that's drained on us. Emotionally, that's taken a toll. Like, how long do I have to go without seeing people? How long before I could go back to work? I can't do this anymore. And so what happens is we start to justify, we use justification, which is a defense mechanism, or rationalization.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're somewhat similar, and it's like, well, it's it's not that bad. I don't know anyone that's gotten sick.
Right.
So how bad can this be? Or, well, I do know some people that have gotten sick, but they weren't that bad.
Right.
Or look how sunny and nice it is out there. How could it be bad? So now all of a sudden maybe we're not wearing our masks as diligently as we were because we're now letting our guard down. We've rationalized that this is not such a big deal. There's also repression, where we could consciously, or suppression, where we could consciously tell ourselves that whatever is happening is no longer happening. So, I'm going to eat this cake today because I'm fine just the way I am. That dress was just a little snug.
Right.
I'll still be, I got plenty of time. I'm good. Right? So
Yep.
those things happen, and that's how it happens over time. We get worn down. And so it's hard to persevere. Persevere means keep going when you lose your momentum. And so from what you started out saying, what you've gone through, I guess, Jim, you're an incredible life health coach. So if you were coaching me on that, because I have the same issues, what would be your advice to me?
Well, you know, I think what you said is really interesting because it's true. Like it's kind of can be this thing that we don't see. And when we don't see things, we start to let our guard slip, right? We don't see, you know, and that goes for we don't see the fruits of our labor. We don't see, well, what's so bad about this? What's going on? Well, I mean, how long do we have to do this? You know, like how when is enough? I think, you know, when you're forming new habits, you use the word system. And I
Right.
really
Because you
love
taught me that word to use. And
I think it's everything because our goals are just jumping off places. They're a place to aim towards, right? But then we have to have a system in place, and the system needs to be the goal. And I think, you know, what happened to me is the goal became the goal and the system stopped being the goal. So I woke up going, ugh, it's so much work. What, you know, rather than going, you know what, my goal today is going to be to learn a little bit more about how to make a YouTube video, a little bit more about how to use GarageBand. It's going to be, who do I want to be today? I am a person who, you and I talked about this, and I think James Clear talks about this in The Power of, or in the Atomic Habits, is I am a person who does what, right? And then let yourself be that person so that reaching the goal becomes less important than it is being in the system that creates the results that you want. That way, so I think what happens, and I talked a little bit about this with you a few days ago, because believe it or not, this isn't the only time we talk. Um,
right.
that a lot of times what happens is we have a goal and we put all these things in place, whether it's a diet, an exercise regime, whether it's finances, whether it's I'm going to save, I'm going to do this, and then we meet that goal, and then once we meet that goal, we stop doing all the things that made us meet that goal, and we
So
slowly
true.
start to regress, right? We slowly start to go, huh, and we think then that we could just, no, I'm going to start doing that again, and we forget all the little things that we did that made it work in the first place. We let that all
Absolutely.
fall. Um, and so I guess what I would coach myself to do, and what I would coach people to do here, is to not be afraid of the system and not be afraid that a little bit every day brings you towards your goal.
Hmm.
And then, but once you reach that goal, what I'm hoping for, you know, with my clients, what I'm hoping is that we put a system in place that you actually enjoy, that has created who you are, and that you don't have to worry about reaching that goal again because really you have your system. And your system is
Yeah.
that daily thing that you do that becomes who you are.
Wow, I mean, really, that's so awesome, brother. And so for yourself, you know, you're saying that your own words. Do you feel like maybe you fell away from your system, or you started looking at you had all these different things you wanted to accomplish, and it all of a sudden it became overwhelming and
Yeah.
it felt unachievable? But if you break it back down into the little pieces and just say, for today, I only need to accomplish this, then
Yes.
you could be giving yourself attaboys all day long. You told me that once.
Yeah.
And then that keeps you motivated. Like I remember talking to you about losing weight at one point, and you said to me, Trees, don't focus on the goal, because if my goal is, oh yeah, I want to lose, 10 pounds, uh, I just put myself into a state of misery because I'm like, that's so much work. But if I focus on, okay, today these are the things I'm going to eat, and I'm going to exercise at this time, then when I've eaten my grapefruit, I get to say good job. And then
Yeah.
when I hop on that treadmill, good job. I'm at a girling myself all day, and you taught me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's, thanks for teaching it back, you know, because I think that we also have to have a reward in our habit building. We have to have rewards. We have to go, what's the problem with some of what's going on right now is we don't see what the reward is. What's the reward of putting on my mask? What's the reward So sometimes we have to create the reward for ourselves. And I think it's a challenge, but it's a worthwhile challenge to go, what good comes out of doing this?
Right.
What makes this something that I want to do?
Exactly. I think when we talk about, what's going on in the world, it does feel very challenging to not let our guards down because it seems like it's difficult to keep sustaining. So, but it's really important. We have the same danger that there was 2 months ago or 3 months ago is the same danger we have today. So hopefully we just all,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Don't let our
don't
guard
let our
down.
guards down, and we keep doing all the smart things to keep ourselves and our families and our friends and the world safe.
We're all in this together. Yeah.
Yep. Well,
All right.
so good to see you, brother.
So good to see you, sister. I hope you got something out of this, everyone. Again, I say this often in our Facebook posts. If there's something that you want us to talk about, if it's something that you need, it's something that you think we can help you with, please let us know, and we'll make it one of our next videos. Yeah.
Yep, look forward to any input you've got. It's great.
All right.
All right, brother. I love you,
I
and
love you as well.
I think you're gonna be right back on track. You gave yourself some really good advice there.
I think you gave me the advice. We gave each other the advice. All right, everybody,
All right,
be well, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.